Hello everyone, I am Darshini, Assistant Professor of Mathematics. In the previous sessions, we have learnt about divisibility, division algorithm, prime numbers, composite numbers, GCD, LCM and so on. In this session, I am going to introduce you one more important topic in number theory, congruence. Let's get in. Let n be a fixed positive integer and a and b be any two integers. Then we say that a is congruent to b modulo n. We say that a is congruent to b modulo n. It is denoted by this symbol, denoted by this symbol read as a congruent to b modulo n if n divides a minus b or a minus b is equal to nk for some k belongs to z. Okay. Say for example, I know that 5 divides 12 minus 2. So I can write 12 is congruent to 2 modulo 5. To give one more example, we know that 10 divides 100 minus 10. So 100 is congruent to 10 modulo 10. Similarly, if I consider 2 divides minus 1, 2 divides minus 2, therefore minus 1 is congruent to minus 1 modulo 2 and so on. Suppose if we have two integers a and b and a fixed positive integer n, and if a is not congruent to b modulo n, that is if a is not congruent to b modulo n, in other words n does not divide a minus b, then we say that a and b are incongruent modulo n. We say that a and b are incongruent modulo n. Okay. Now let us see some elementary properties of congruence. Consider the first property. The relation a congruent to b modulo n is an equivalence relation. To prove that this relation is an equivalence relation, we need to show three conditions. First, we need to show that this is reflexive, then we have to show that this is symmetric, and finally we have to show that this is a transitive relation. First, to show that this is a reflexive relation, let us consider an integer a belongs to z. We know that since n is a fixed positive integer, n divides 0. But 0 can be written as a minus a, and hence n divides a minus a. By the definition of congruence, since n divides a minus a, we have a congruent to a modulo n. Since a is arbitrary, this is true for every integer a, therefore this relation is a reflexive relation. Next, to show that this relation is symmetric, suppose for ab belongs to z, if a is congruent to b modulo n, then by the definition of congruence we have n divides a minus b. So by the property of divisibility, if n divides a minus b, then n should divide b minus c. This implies n divides b minus a, and so that b is congruent to a modulo a. B is congruent to a modulo n. So we have shown that if a is congruent to b modulo n, then b is congruent to a modulo n, showing that this relation is symmetric. Finally, I consider the transitive property. To show that this relation is transitive, let ABC belongs to Z, and if A is congruent to B modulo n and B is congruent to C modulo n, then we need to show that A is congruent to C modulo n. By the definition of congruence, we have n divides A minus B and n divides B minus C. Now, by the property of divisibility, since n divides A minus B and n divides B minus C, n divides sum of these two terms, that is n divides A minus B plus B minus C. Here B and B gets cancelled, so I get here n divides A minus C, and so A is congruent to C modulo n. So here we have shown that this relation is transitive relation. By 1, 2 and 3, the congruence relation is an equivalence relation. Therefore, is an equivalence relation. Okay. Now consider the next property. If A is congruent to P modulo n, then A plus C is congruent to P plus C modulo n, A minus C is congruent to P minus C modulo n, AC is congruent to BC modulo n. First, given that A is congruent to P modulo n, given A is congruent to B modulo n, so by the definition of congruence, n divides A minus B. N divides A minus B. To prove the first property, A plus C is congruent to B plus C modulo n, first I consider we have n divides A minus B. If I add and subtract C to this A minus B, I can write this as n divides A plus C minus B plus C. Here C gets cancelled, so these two are identical, proving that A plus C is congruent to B plus C modulo n. Now to show that A minus C is congruent to B minus C modulo n, again I am going to add and subtract plus C. So since we have n divides A minus B, n divides A minus C plus C minus B, this can be rewritten as n divides A minus C minus B minus C, and hence A minus C is congruent to B minus C modulo n. This implies A minus C is congruent to B minus C modulo n. Finally, to prove that AC congruent to BC modulo n, consider n divides A minus B. By the property of divisibility, since n divides A minus B, n divides C into A minus B. N divides C into A minus B. This is same as n divides CA minus CB, which shows that CA is congruent to CB modulo n. Okay. Now consider the next property. If A congruent to B modulo n and C congruent to T modulo n, then A plus C is congruent to B plus T modulo n, A minus C is congruent to B minus T modulo n, and AC is congruent to BD modulo n. To prove this, first given that A is congruent to B modulo n, this implies that n divides A minus B. Similarly, given that C is congruent to D modulo n, and so n divides C minus D. Now to prove the first property, A plus C congruent to B plus T modulo n, first, since n divides A minus B and n divides C minus T, n divides A minus B plus C minus T. Since n divides A minus B and n divides C minus T, we have n divides A minus B plus C minus D. This can be rewritten as n divides a plus c minus b plus d, and hence a plus c is congruent to b plus d modulo n. To prove the second property, we just subtract these two. We have, since n divides a minus b and n divides c minus d, n divides a minus b minus c minus d. This can be rewritten as n divides a minus b minus c plus d, or n divides a minus c minus b minus d, and hence a minus c is congruent to b minus d modulo n. A minus c is congruent to b minus d modulo n. Okay. Now to prove this property AC congruent to BD modulo n, first I am going to consider AC minus BD. This is same as AC minus AD plus AD minus BD. If I take A as common here, in the first two terms I get A into C minus D, plus in the next two terms I am going to take D as common. I get here D into A minus B. Okay. Now since n divides A minus B, n divides D into A minus B. N divides A minus B implies n divides D into A minus B. Similarly, since n divides C minus D, n divides A into C minus D. So combining these two, I have n divides D into A minus B plus A into C minus D, which is same as n divides AC minus BD. Proving that AC is congruent to BD modulo n. Therefore, AC is congruent to BD modulo n. Now let us consider this theorem. If AC is congruent to BC modulo n, then A congruent to B modulo n by D, where D is the GCD of C and n. We have already shown that A congruent to B modulo n implies that AC congruent to BC modulo n. But here the converse need not be true. Say for example, if I take 2 into 4, which is congruent to 2 into 3 modulo 2, this is because 8 minus 6 is 2, which is divisible by 2. But here we cannot cancel 2 on both the sides. If I cancel 2 on both the sides, I get 4 congruent to 3 modulo 2, which is not true, as 4 minus 3, which is 1, is not divisible by 2. Okay. This theorem shows that when does the converse holds good here. If the GCD of C comma n is 1, then here we get A congruent to B modulo n. So AC congruent to BC modulo n implies that A congruent to B mod n if and only if the GCD of C and n is 1. Now let us prove this theorem. First, given that AC is congruent to BC modulo n, given AC is congruent to BC modulo n, so by the definition of congruence, AC minus BC is equal to nk for some k belongs to Z. This can be rewritten as C into A minus B is equal to nk for some k belongs to Z. Now since D is the GCD of C comma n, I am going to divide both the sides by D. So we get here C by D into A minus B is equal to n by d into k. Observe that C by D and n by d are integers, as D is the GCD of C comma n, where C by D and n by d are integers. Now since C by D into A minus B is an integral product of n by d, we have n by d divides C by D into A minus B. Okay. But D is the GCD of C comma n, implies that GCD of C by D comma N by D is equal to 1. Since these two integers are relatively prime, this implies that N by D divides A minus B. So by the definition of congruence, we have A is congruent to P modulo N by D. In particular, in this theorem, if I have D is equal to 1, I will get here A congruent to B modulo N. So in AC congruent to BC modulo N, we can cancel C on both the sides if and only if the GCD of C and N is equal to 1. Now let us consider one more important property of congruence. A is congruent to B modulo N if and only if A and B leaves the same remainder when divided by N. First let A congruent to B modulo N, then we are going to show that A and B leaves the same remainder when divided by N. Proof. Let A congruent to B modulo N. Then by the definition of congruence, we have A minus B is equal to Nk for some integer k, or A is equal to B plus Nk for some integer k. Okay. Now let R be the remainder A leaves when divided by N. Let R be the remainder when A is divided by N. So by the division algorithm, A is equal to NQ plus R, where Q is some integer and R is less than N, greater than or equal to 0. Here I am going to substitute that A is equal to P plus Nk. So we get P plus Nk is equal to NQ plus R with the same condition. If I solve this, I get B is equal to NQ minus Nk plus R, or N into Q minus K plus R. If I put Q minus K as Q dash, I get here N into Q dash plus R, where Q dash is an integer and R is less than N and greater than or equal to 0. So we have shown that B is equal to A Q dash plus R, where Q dash is an integer and R is less than N and greater than or equal to 0. So by the uniqueness of remainder and quotient, this R should be the remainder when B is divided by N. Therefore, R is the remainder when B is divided by N. So considering R is the remainder when A is divided by N, we have shown that R is the remainder when B is divided by N. So A and B leaves the same remainder when divided by N. Conversely, let A and B leaves the same remainder when divided by N. Conversely, let A and B leaves the same remainder R when divided by N. So by division algorithm, A should be equal to some NQ plus R and B should be equal to some NQ dash plus R, where Q dash are integers and R is less than N and greater than or equal to 0. If I solve this, I have R is equal to A minus NQ and R is equal to B minus NQ dash, so that A minus NQ is same as B minus NQ dash. So I get here A minus B is same as NQ minus NQ dash, or N into Q minus Q dash. Since Q and Q dash are integers, Q minus Q dash is also an integer. So I have shown that A minus B is an integral multiple of N, and therefore n divides a minus p, and so that a congruent to p modulo n. Okay. So considering that a and b leaves the same remainder when divided by n, we have shown that a congruent to p modulo n. This completes the proof.